Good evening, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing.
All right, well, I am not there, but thank you for the sentiment.
Thank you. In line, I had a question and it changed, so I'm just going to go with what came just before I walked up here.
Thank you for your synchronicity.
In 2006,
yes,
I went to sleep one night and I had a spontaneous...
You only slept one night in 2006?
Well, I went, okay, this was a unique night in my perspective.
Yes.
Because I had for the first time, I had a spontaneous out of body. I just left and just went straight up to the ceiling.
Oh, all right, congratulations.
And it was very amazing and profound.
And uplifting.
Conscious and very uplifting. And I've had I've had this many, many times, and I began to explore it, and I've traveled, and I've had many amazing experiences.
All right.
If you may permit me to share just a couple, and if I could get a little bit of clarity, if you could help me with some that still leave me.
Be brief.
Okay. One night I left.
Yes.
And I feel as though my frequency is raising.
Yes.
And I oftentimes will experience someone almost like they're downloading or they're lowering the frequency. We meet in the middle.
Yes.
So one particular night I met a being. It was not human, but I remember the teeth. It had teeth that were like a chainsaw. And there were rows and rows and rows of teeth. And it had a very profound look to me.
One moment. Excuse us. We are laughing. Go ahead.
Okay, it was nothing like I've ever seen.
That's because it doesn't really appear that way in its own reality, but it appeared that way in your reality for a particular purpose of reflection. And it also likes to play jokes.
Okay. When I saw the being, I said, this cannot be real.
I just told you.
Okay.
You see how perceptive you are? You saw that it was giving you, in a sense, a screen memory, a false front. To see how perceptive you could be about what was really behind it. To see if you would react in fear or look through that, look past that, cross the bridge all the way to the other side and know what it really is.
Okay, well, I looked on with some fear. Yes. I just remember saying this can't be real, and...
Well, that was your biggest clue. That was your biggest clue. In that one moment, you instinctively, completely understood exactly what the message was. This isn't real. And so it gave you an opportunity to understand that, by definition, your fear is also not real. It's just a story that you tell yourselves to scare yourselves to death.
When I said that, it reached out and it touched me, and I felt it.
Yes. Okay. Tingling.
And then I said I wanted to go, and I was gone, and that was it. We haven't met again.
All right.
Okay.
But again, please understand, it was a lesson for you to understand how to see through the fear, to see that it's not real, to see that it's just a definition. It's only empty air until you decide it's solid by believing in it.
Okay. Wow.
That was the interaction done by a very fun entity that acts as a guide for you from time to time. Yes.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you.
Yes.
And real quick, I'll just give you the other one that was very profound. One of my best friends made her transition this year.
Oh, all right.
Been a journey for me with that. But when she made her transition, I felt her all around me, but I stopped. I didn't want to travel outside of the body. I just stopped my experiences for a few weeks so I could acclimate myself to her transition.
All right.
So one night I laid down and I was, next thing I know, I was gone. And I went through a dark, very dark dimension, and I saw a being appear in front of me that had masculine energy.
Yes.
And the being gave me a message to give to her mother.
Yes.
And the being just said to tell her she's loved in the non-physical, that she's so loved. And I could feel the love. The love was very overwhelming. And I felt in some way that this was my friend, but in a masculine form, even though she was a woman. Was that potentially the person who came and gave me the message, the being that gave me?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And we are not allowed to actually explain this in more detail because this process is not finished. These messages have not completely been delivered. You will experience more of this and you will learn something very profound through this experience.
Okay.
But it is not, as we say, our job.
Okay. Well, thank you. You've been very beautiful, and I appreciate your help very much tonight.
Thank you. You are still very beautiful.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a good day.
I was wondering, in a time frame you deem appropriate, if you could give the history of the solar system and the major civilizations and races, and especially including any planetary wars that have a major impact, maybe 10 minutes or less.
In the beginning, as you know time to exist, in the formation of your solar system, as your scientists to some degree have figured out, the Earth was the product of a collision between a large body that existed in this orbit and another large body that thus then allowed there to be the creation of the Earth and the Moon as you know it. Now, the Moon has been tinkered with since then by other beings for the purpose of balancing the energy of the Earth out in a variety of ways, but that's another story. In terms of the idea of the incarnational procession through your solar system, first there was the idea of what you would call Maldek in what you now know to be the asteroid belt. And thus then there were incarnations of a different type that took place on that world for the idea of soul incarnations to experience certain things and experiences of polarity. There was great destruction in that experience, and that world no longer exists. Thus then the incarnations moved inward toward the sun to the next planet you know as Mars, when it was capable of holding life forms. But then there was, again, according to the idea of time and space, a glancing passing by a large asteroid that ripped the atmosphere away and turned it into the world you now know it to be. Thus then the incarnations thus then came to be on the Earth when the Anunnaki beings, as you call them, came from another system, to thus then inject their genetic material into the hominid species that was naturally evolving on the Earth to create the human form you now know it that was capable of allowing for the connection of the spirit and the soul in the similar incarnational fashion as was experienced on the Martian and Maldek planes. But the idea also is that certain branches of that natural hominid species were not tampered with and evolved naturally into what you now know to be Sasquatch. Thus then you have the idea, continuing the history forward, of the fact that you are all generally hybridized in a number of ways, and thus then the hybrid beings that are the product of the agenda between the gray species, which is a mutated human world from another parallel Earth, and the idea of the humans of your world mixing to form a hybrid species, where these children shall be returned in what you call the future to the Earth, and eventually there shall be the idea of only those hybrids on the Earth, forming the idea of the sixth hybrid race. And once the sixth hybrid race exists in about 1,000 years of your time of counting, then all the different six hybrid civilizations will together begin to blend into a new form of life that we are simply calling the seventh hybrid race. There you have a very brief history leading into the future history of your world. Did I miss anything?
Thank you. That was very good. Hey,
All right.
And just the major civilizations that came and went that they talk about.
On your planet?
On Earth.
There are many that you do not know of, but some of the ones you do know of are the idea of Lemuria and Atlantis, as we have discussed this night. There are civilizations that existed in what now is the Gobi Desert on your planet. There are civilizations that existed in what you call the South American regions on the high plateaus. And there are also many interactions with extraterrestrial beings that have taken place in some of these ancient civilizations. There are many other civilizations, including one that used to exist in what you call the Antarctic region before it was covered with ice. There are a few others as well that we will not go into at this time.
Is there a current civilization underground? Reptilian?
Not as you understand it, no. The idea of the so-called hollow earth is a euphemism. The idea is that there are many entry points to the so-called hollow earth, but once you actually enter those vortices, they're actually interdimensional tunnels that take you completely somewhere else, and you're actually no longer physically inside the earth, even though you may think you are.
Got it. Very interesting.
Does that help you?
Yes, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Day. So I have a question, if you can help me understand my connection with this person called Ed.
Ed,
Ed. Yes.
is that a horse?
No. It's a person.
Oh, I see. All right. Ed.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We met 20 years ago. It was instant. We recognized each other.
Yes.
We both started crying, saying, "Oh my God, it's you."
Yes.
And then I got married to someone else, but I kept having all these dreams of him.
All right.
The dreams told me I had to find him, and we are on this amazing spiritual path together.
Yes.
So I went and found him again, and it was instant love again.
All right.
And so my marriage fell apart. Everything fell apart. Amazing synchronicities happened.
Yes.
And it kind of turned into a nightmare after
A
that.
nightmare?
Yeah.
In what context? Are you not with Ed?
No.
Why not?
No, about 7 years ago, he totally caught contact with me.
Because?
I think fear. He was married
what?
as well. There's a lot of...
All right. Perhaps you went into this assuming that it had to be expressed in a certain way and it needed to be expressed in another way.
Yeah, I've thought about that. And
well,
I
good.
actually wrote a book about the whole thing.
Oh, all right.
And
Was that cathartic and therapeutic for you?
very much so.
Thank you.
Yes.
The idea is to, again, always understand that clear communication with all parties involved in all relationships is of paramount importance so that you can clearly understand what the reason in the reflections in the relationship are actually for, rather than going off of assumptions based on societal understandings.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Because you are there to reflect things to each other to help you understand more of who you each are.
Absolutely.
That's what all relationships are for.
Right.
And even though you may not necessarily be physically in proximity to one another, the relationship still exists because it is still serving you by allowing you to discover more of who you are in relation to that individual.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. And so my other question is, I
Yes.
wrote this book, and it's very personal.
Yes.
I feel like it's an amazing story.
All right. And so?
But if I put it out, it might hurt him. He's in the public eye.
All right. Well, you could call him Ted.
Okay.
Or Fred.
Okay. I've done that.
All
All right.
right.
I guess that's it.
You can also allow yourself to simply arrange whatever needs to be arranged to not cross the barriers of what might be inappropriate without an agreement with that individual, and still capture the essence of your story in terms of what people actually need to understand from it. You don't always have to go into all the minutia and details to get the point across. You understand?
Yes. Okay.
Yes? Does that help you?
Yes.
Then allow yourself the opportunity to recognize that you were simply given a chance to follow the currents and eddies of your energy.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yeah. I guess my other question is like, will I ever see him again?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
Because things are always in flux. There is no such thing as the future.
Right.
There is only an infinite number of probable realities, and your energy being in flux in the way that it is right now is not settled into a pattern enough for us to read as being inevitable. Do you understand?
Yes.
And that's a good thing, to be in flux, because it means you can go in any direction you wish, any direction that is truly representative of your core vibrational frequency. It's really up to you. You're at a crossroads, and that means all possibilities are before you in every direction, yes?
Yes.
All right. Isn't that fun?
Very.
It's exciting,
It
yes?
is exciting. Yes.
All right. One
All right.
moment. Therefore, this is all part and parcel of your education.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, Bashar.
And you, good day.
This is Raymond.
Oh, all right, if you insist.
Just 3 quick questions. Do aliens, have been engaged in direct contacts with establishment or governments on the Earth, and for what purpose?
There have been a few contacts that have happened between various governments on your planets and certain extraterrestrial societies, mostly in the beginning to discover or explore whether your society was ready for more open contact. Apparently it wasn't.
Okay. Have aliens given any high tech to the Earth, to the people, like renewable
Some
energy?
extraterrestrials have exchanged a moderate amount of technology. Of course, some of the technology was simply, shall we say, procured from the idea of crashed ships and the like as well. But there have been a few exchanges, but not as much as you would think.
Okay, I'm asking particularly about like free renewable energy, like, perpetuum mobile or something to produce energy.
Your civilization already knew about free energy for quite a while before any of these extraterrestrial contacts we are now discussing. There are some components in some of the technology that was shared that can lead to the understanding of unlimited free energy, but much of the technology that has been shared, some of it was very, very simple and didn't necessarily lead as far as your people might have wished, and some of it is so, in a sense, alien or unusual that your people just don't understand what to do with it. However, again, the idea is that you've had the capability of creating alternate energy devices on your planet for quite some time, and there was an individual that was quite proficient at this called Nikola Tesla. He understood all the things we understand.
Yes. Do you know what we had to give in exchange for those like technologies we received?
Some of the idea was the allowance of the abductions.
Yes, so that was my next question, actually.
Well, I've already answered.
Do you know any presence right now of aliens between us or among us living on the Earth?
Not in the way that you think. There will be extraterrestrials that will visit from time to time, and they will allow you to think that they are human. Sometimes they will allow the facade to drop, but they do not live for long periods of time among you. They come and go, they visit, they observe, they do a variety of things, but it is all part and parcel of the acclimatization program to gauge when you are ready for more open contact.
And the last thing is about like abductions. Are they for purpose of taking or analyzing our genetics? Is it by our consent or?
It is by your consent on a higher level, even though your physical minds may not remember having made such agreements. Remember that the beings that you're actually interacting with, that you call the abductors, are actually in many cases, and in fact in most cases, other versions of you in another reality. So you're only abducting yourselves. But the idea of the overall agenda is for the creation of several hybrid species to allow that civilization to perpetuate itself. We are one of the hybrid civilizations that results from that particular program.
That was very enlightening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to you, good day.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day again.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Well, okay, my question is about the movie, or I might say...
What movie?
Or just generally.
Movies. In general?
Yeah, movies or storytelling.
Or what?
Storytelling.
Storytelling, yes.
In your world or in your near future.
As we have said, the idea of story structure is of paramount importance and exists in a variety of cultures in a variety of ways that are relevant for the consciousness of those cultures. But the idea is that story structure is an archetypal structure in your consciousness. That's why telling information in the form of a story will stick longer in your memory, because it is hitting all the right chords of the archetypal story structure in your consciousness. If it doesn't hit all those chords, you feel that the story was not well told and you don't really remember all the things in it. But when it hits all the right chords of the archetypal story structure in your consciousness, you tell those stories over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they never get old. It's a part of your makeup. It's a part of the crystallization of your personality structure. Story structure is built in as the most efficient way to communicate and retain information in your reality.
So, and then actually the reason I gave you this is that I'm kind of tired of watching the story or drama in, say, dualism or, in 3D. Or
then tell your own stories.
Then that's why I'm asking, what is that in your world, or I don't know, maybe near future?
We understand the idea of duality, but we do not experience the negative side. But we understand that in your reality, there is this concept of the challenge presented that needs to be overcome. Here's the idea, though. You don't have to look at this in a negative way. There is a story that exists in your culture called the story of the premature butterfly. Do you know this?
I'm not sure.
All right, well, I will tell it to you briefly. The idea is that you know that caterpillars form cocoons and turn into butterflies, yes?
Yes.
And that there is a timing to this. One day, one of your people was strolling along and saw that there was a butterfly, as you say, struggling to get out of its cocoon. Mm-hmm. This person said, well, I will help you so you don't have to struggle, so you don't have to be so challenged by this. And the person opened the cocoon and let the butterfly out. Well, the butterfly just sat there, didn't fly. Its wings were atrophied. They were not well formed. Because you see, what the person didn't realize is that if the butterfly does not struggle against the cocoon, the pressure of the cocoon does not push fluid into the wings and cause them to mature. So even though you may think you're helping sometimes by removing the idea of that struggle, you're actually causing more struggle and more damage. So be aware that there is a positive way to understand what you may call the polarity, and learn how to use it in a balanced way and learn what it is for, so that you can have the idea of a positive outcome even when you are incorporating the idea of the negative polarity into the story. Does that help you?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.